Not just for the rich and white. Education is a right. Not just for the rich and white. Increasing the tuition.
မင်္ဂလာပါခင်ဗျာအခုကျွန်တော်ရောက်နေတဲ့နေရာကတော့ဒါ America University ပဲဖြစ်ပါတယ်ဒီ Canada Vancouver မြို့မှာရှိတယ်ပေါ့နော်အနုပညာကျောင်းတစ်ကျောင်းဖြစ်ပါတယ်အခုဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဒီအနုပညာကျောင်းပေါ့နော်ဒီ America University မှာကျောင်းသားတွေကိုပေါ့နော်ကျောင်းသားကတိုးပြီးတော့ကောက်မယ်လို့ကြော်ညာလိုက်တဲ့အတွက်ဒီမှာရှိတဲ့ပေါ့နော်ကျောင်းသားတွေကဆန္ဒပြနေကြတာဖြစ်ပါတယ်အဲ့ဒီထဲမှာတိုးပြီးကောက်မဲ့ကျောင်းသားတွေထဲမှာအများစုကတော့ international student ပေါ့နော်ဒီ international student တွေကိုပို့ပြီးတော့ပေါ့နော်တိုးကောက်မယ်ဆိုပြီးတော့ကြော်ညာလိုက်တဲ့အတွက်ဒီ international student တွေကအကျောင်းသားကျောင်းသူတွေကဆန္ဒပြနေကြတာဖြစ်ပါတယ်အခုဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဒီမှာ temperature -2 ရှိပါတယ်ဒီ Vancouver မှာဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့ဒီနေ့ကတော့ဒီဇင်ဘာလ1ရက်နေ့ဖြစ်ပါတယ်အခုကျွန်တော်ထပ်ပြီးတော့အသေးစိတ်လေးသိအောင်လို့ interview လုပ်ပေးပါမယ်ဆက်ပြီးတော့စောင့်ကြည့်ပေးပါနော်
Or anything. So yeah, like this all the way in like White Rock, like 2 hours away from this, just like trying to even like
Taking my money.
I don't have anything
nothing more to give? Why are you asking me for more? Why aren't you asking the government and this systematic bullshit? Like, seriously. I've also seen so many of my friends who are so dear to me and help me through every single day, who are from Iran and are from Colombia, and the tuition that they have to pay, I've seen them spiral over being broke and having nothing to do about it. And I'm sure there are so many, just like my friends in this crowd right now. It's ridiculous, and then my love, all of my love goes out to every single one of you. Yeah, so, I don't know. Oh yeah, who's school? Our school! Who's school? Our school! Who's school? Our school! Who's school? Our school! That's right, it's ours! Stop cheerleading at ECU!
Alright, who's our final speaker? Who's our final community citizen? Oh, come on, you both just come up here. Just both of you come up. Yeah, come on.
A lot of people, that tuition is as high as it is, and it's going up as much as it is. But it's also objectively a terrible thing. In the past 40 years, a bachelor's degree or higher have become more and more mandatory for more and more even entry-level jobs, and it's become less and less affordable to more and more people, making it more difficult for people to get any job at all. And it's only going to get worse if this does not stop. Yeah. And it's extremely important for us to have artists, though obviously many of them go underappreciated. Artists are a large backbone of everything from advertising to entertainment media to just the everyday running of the world. Obviously, you know, companies need to have advertising, they need to have logos, and people find joy in art, and gatekeeping it behind so much money that also is gatekept within jobs, because most artistic jobs also require degrees as kind of a sign of your ability to like be professional is not great. And yeah, I really do hope for the best for all the international students here that are struggling with money, and even all the local students that are probably also struggling. And I wish you and all future generations truly the best, because this is not deserved, and this needs to stop.
Hi. Okay, I'm a domestic student. I was born and raised in North Vancouver, but I just wanted to say that when I heard that they wanted to make the funding and the money more like OCAD, I was like, jaw was on the floor, because I applied to OCAD and I did not get in, but I did the math, and I would not be able to afford living in Toronto if I was able to go there, and it's fucking ridiculous if they're trying to make it like that here. And on top of that, the housing crisis that I hear about like consistently, almost every week, every single day, the fact that they're making like the prices of not just schooling but housing, and it's near impossible to get like jobs here too. I can't fathom what it would be like for the international students, and like so many of them, I've made friends with so many of the international students here, and they're all incredible, and it's like ridiculous that they're making them pay this much. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Thank you so much for your time. Before we talk about today's protest, can you talk a little bit about yourself, and where are you from, and what are you studying in Imlika University? Yeah.
Hello, I'm an international student here at America University. This is my final and fourth year. I am enrolled in the Bachelor's of Design program. My major is communication design, and I came here from India in 2019, and I've been studying here and living in Vancouver for 4 years now, and yeah.
I'm asking just introduce a bit about yourself first, before we talk about today event?
Sure. Hi, I'm Rafael Rodriguez. I'm an animation student at University. I'm in my second year right now, and I'm also the community engagement coordinator at Emily Carr Students Union. And I come from Brazil, South America.
So, today, why students are walking out today?
So we're living right now in a broken system where international students are having to shoulder the weight of the government's lack of funding, and it shouldn't be our responsibility. The fees are so absurd and unfair for us right now. We are the ones who make this university work, and it shouldn't be like that. Education is a right. We all have our backgrounds, and we all been through so much just to come here and pursue our education. We hear that this country is so welcoming, and that we all just hear about Canada needing people, and about how they're welcoming and respectful with everyone's cultures and backgrounds. And then we feel like we're gonna be supported, but once we get here, we get no support at all. We also have to pay like $1,000, almost a little bit more than $1,000 on MSP, and all these other fees that
The living expenses in Vancouver are already skyrocketing. The rents are skyrocketing. Groceries are inflation is really high. And with the help of Student Union, we've so far executed a series of protests. And this is basically to urge our university to stand in solidarity with us and help us push back against the province to increase the funding for post-secondary education and not rely on the backs of international students essentially to cover their costs and their deficit. And they've been treating us like cash cows, which basically means that even though the student body is comprised of international students are like 33%. So we have 2,000 students overall, and only 600 are international students, yet we pay for more than 73% of the revenue. So that's basically treating us like bank accounts. And that's just not the way. As an educational institution, our priority should be to provide affordable tuition to everybody. And the only reason, so the increase in tuition is everywhere. Even domestic students are facing an increase in tuition. The only reason theirs is so low, theirs is only 2%, while ours are 10% and for incoming is 30%, is because domestic student fees are regulated. There's a cap.
Also, how much you're paying right now for the school fees per year, and how much you will be pay you have to pay after race?
So right now I'm paying $20,000 per year for 30 credits, while my domestic student friends are just paying $4,000? Around $4,000. And Rafael is gonna be more.
So if it increases as they're proposing to increase 10%, it would be around 22,000, including all the fees and everything.
And that's just tuition fees.
20,000 is already really difficult. When I came here, it was 18,000, and then we didn't know that Emily Carr was going through this deficit, so I was not prepared, and all of my international friends are also not prepared to fix this. We're not here we didn't know that we would come here and like be the ones who have to fix this deficit, because the government's not properly funding our institution, and this just doesn't make sense to us, and we're not ready for this.
There's no public knowledge about the deficit before this. They just suddenly announced that the university isn't debt.
So how this story happened in the beginning?
I'm sorry?
How this story happens in the beginning?
So basically, they just announced that the university is in debt. And one of the ways that they're gonna help the university get out of debt is through hiking tuition fees, because they're not getting enough money from the government.
And we didn't know about this debt before.
And we didn't know about this debt.
We were not aware of that.
It's not in public knowledge. It's not anywhere. So we asked them that instead of raising tuition fees, why don't you push against the government? I don't know if they listen to that or not, because they're still going ahead with the vote. They kind of are doing this vote 4 months earlier than previous year. So they're still fully planning to raise the tuition instead of standing in solidarity with its students. And this is not just Emily Carr, this is happening all across the province. And that's, to my knowledge, it might be also happening all across Canada because post-secondary education is underfunded, and that's just the system.
The thing about Emily Carr, though, is that we are in a deficit that is not, that, as she said, there's no public knowledge about it.
Yeah.
And we didn't know this before coming in. And now we're the ones who have to fix it. So it doesn't make no sense. And so we didn't know about this deficit before coming here. And now we're the ones who have to deal with it. And people don't know about it. And even if the tuition increases as much as they are asking us to, as much as they want to increase,
the school is still not going to be
it still
out of
wouldn't.
debt.
Yeah, it would
So
still
what
wouldn't
is even
fix
the
it.
point?
Exactly. It is not like it's their job to come up with creative ways to fix this and to come up with other strategies, not relying on us and to pressure the government. We, as a student union, are doing campaigns, and we just 2 weeks ago we just had we posted a video online on our Instagram. You can check it out at ECSU _10
On our Twitter account.
and a Twitter account as well. We made a video of how many students we united students to write letters to the government asking for more funding to the institution. Then we all came and brought those letters to the postcard and made a video about it. Because if we don't get funding, this is not gonna fix our situation.
Yeah.
And the reason why, as Kashish said, the reason why it's so disproportional the tuition fees from international and domestic, because as she said, there's a gap.
Regulated.
It's the law that regulates how domestic students how the increase works. But for international students, there's no law, there's no gap, anything. So they can increase as much as they can.
So all of this campaign is just asking the government to step in, because that's the only way out. You cannot.
So what is your main objective to protest today?
So it's two-part. First, for the university, you need to stand in solidarity with your students, not against them, and you need to push back against the province. And for the government, it's two-part. You need to put a cap on the international student fee hike. You can just not increase student fees as much as you like. There needs to be a cap. And secondly, you need to put more funding and put more money in your post-secondary education, so that they're not forced to rely to treat international students as cash cows.
Fairness for international students and more funding from the government. That's our main goal here.
Okay, you said about the cash cow. So this day everybody is talking about cash cow. International students. Now everybody is talking about. Okay, what is your definition as a international student about the cash cow?
Go for it.
Yeah. Being a cash cow means that they can rely on us to get us. It's like we're a money machine that they can take as much money as they want for us whenever they need, and that's not our reality. We struggle so much already for coming here, and it's just most international students don't have strong financial resources to rely on, and then we are being relied on to keep the university working, and that's how we're seen as cash cows in this broken system
Basically,
that we're fighting against.
Forcing us to get as much as money as they can out of us, because they cannot fix a problem that they need to be relying on their government on.
So how much already you spend for the schools for 4 years?
So that's like what math is not my strong suit, but that's like 20,000, and I've been paying that for 3 years now. So that's what,
almost to 100,000, right? Because it's 80,000
more than that.
4 years, but it's in the end, like with all the fees and everything, it's almost like 100.
Living costs.
Yeah.
Oh, that then it goes through.
Then it goes higher.
Yeah,
There's
like
so many classmates of mine. Their families are taking out loans and bank loans. And
me.
Yeah, and Rafael's and so many students are like working 1 job, 2 job, and then also being a full-time student. We're doing as much as we can. We're working to our bone, but with the tuition hike, there's a limit.
And there's no student loan for us. There's
no student loan.
Support at all from anywhere.
We don't get enough scholarships, grants, bursaries, nothing.
And this country needs people to keep. They need more people to keep the economy going, the country going forward. And
they increase the work hours.
There's no scholarship.
There's they're almostly non-scholarships for international students. or
Compared
pursuers or-
compared to domestic
compared to-
students, there's very less,
Uh-huh.
and it's almost negligible. There is some, but it's almost negligible.
It's like
Are you working as a part-time job?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm working. Yeah, I'm working as a
So how do you
part-time.
manage the time?
I can't. We all our projects are.
Yeah, I'm gonna
sorry
leave.
about that.
I have my class, but you're doing great.
So our projects are all our classes are mostly project based. So that means they're more time consuming than usual university courses because that's an art school. That's an art and design school. So most of our classes are. Most of our courses are project based, and that's very time consuming. So we barely have no time, besides school, for work and for anything else. I'm trying. I have my job at the student union, which is a volunteer job. I also have my part-time job, and I also have my full-time school. And I was trying to do almost full time because now they just raised the hours. I was trying to do full time, but I can barely do part time because I can focus on my education, which is the main thing that I came here for. I'm behind in all my courses because I have no time with work and everything. So yeah, we just can't do this anymore. Like it's not a system. It's a system that is against us and it's supposed to be on our side. This country needs people, and why are you treating us like this?
So as a second year student, how much did you already spend for as a student?
With school or with
For the schools, for the living costs.
oh my, it's hard to do a quick math like that.
How much your rental, basically?
So my rent right now. I was really lucky to get in a student building, which is 1,000, which is already a lot, but it's still really low in Vancouver price range, which is super overpriced and insane with the housing crisis. So we pay like 1,000 with housing, and then there's also groceries, and there's also we pay every month. International students have to pay every month $75 for MSP, which for domestic students is free, which is our healthcare, and we can't opt out of that. It's mandatory. And then with all the fees and all the yeah, it's hard to do a quick math, but it's so much money, so much money. I can barely do. It's hard for me to go with 3 meals a day. That's like a goal that it's like hard to follow.
After you graduate, so you still have 2 more years, right?
Yeah, so I graduate, I can get a post-secondary work permit that allows me to work a little bit more after school before applying for my permanent residence.
Do you think you can get a job in your in your study fees? So, do you think you can get a job in the animation field here?
After my studies or during my studies?
After my studies.
After, yeah, absolutely. The industry in Vancouver for animation is huge. For media in general, the film and everything, it's huge. Disney just opened their second studio ever. Like they only have one studio, was in LA. Now they're just opening their second studio in Vancouver because of how demanding that industry is. And here we have so much potential. We have so much talented artists. Like the media is. Vancouver is like the LA of Canada, so they need people like us, and they're not supporting this post-secondary institution as they should. So, yeah.
So after you graduate, if you work, how much do you think you can earn? You can make money.
How much money I can make after I graduate? I'm still not sure about what job specifically I want to do after in the animation industry, and it varies so much, but I think it's around 50 a year for an animator in Vancouver right now, but I'm not sure. That's just research that I do by myself, but most of those researches can be outdated, and with the pandemic the inflation went up, so I'm not really sure how much that would be, but I know that it's a demand. It's an industry that it's
6-figure job.
you can be successful in that industry, yeah. Okay. And it's they need people. So if they need people, why are they not supporting the institution who brings the people to that industry? You know what I'm saying?
Okay. What is your message for the international students who want to study in America or in Canada? What is your suggestions?
I see you as an international student as well.
As a union member.
Okay. I see you, and I've been there, and I hope that you can make it because this the country has so much potential, and that we need people like you. This institution needs more diversity, even though their other decisions are inclined to a more elite space instead of a diverse space. If it's only for domestic students or people who can afford it, and not for the people who are creative and talented and deserve to be here. So please be aware that this is a problem that is happening. I wasn't aware before coming here, and this is a problem that is big and it's even getting worse and worse. So be aware of that, and be aware that you might have to face a deficit that you were not supposed to shoulder. You're not supposed to shoulder the weight of the government's lack of funding, and you might, because of how things are going right now. So just be aware of that. Prepare yourself. If you need more time, just save, because I know it's hard. I'm trying to get as much support from everything as much as I can, but it's just so hard. And I know I see you, and I see that the currency in your home country might not be an advantage for you, which is also my case. So if you're trying to get support from family members, that's also really hard, and I really get that. So yeah, but let's not give up. Let's not just stand away and like see.
Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Not just for the rich and white.